This morning, I uploaded a video. Yesterday I was supposed to be recording a video, but the subject of that video hadn't arrived from Temu in time. So I wrote this one just in case. Let's say you need a specific building for an in-game scenario, and you don't have something that you could use as a reasonable substitute or analog. You want to do things as close to a zero budget as you can get. Now, here's what I have to deal with, and the solution I came up with. This will likely be the cheapest and fastest terrain build you'll find on the internet. The concept is a Roman-era mancio. It's basically a way station slash government-run motel slash post office that they would set up on a route that's heavily traveled, but where there isn't a proper fort or town in the immediate area. So there's going to be a small military and government presence, like maybe a dozen soldiers, 1 or 2 officials, and a tax collector. There should be a large set of stables, so messengers and soldiers, and as well as civilians who pay a service fee, can change their mounts, or at least stable and fodder them, and maybe get a wagon fixed while they stay the night. And there should be lots of rooms for government officials while they're traveling, soldiers, and civilians can stay the night, and again, only the civilians have to pay for the privilege. There would be a small barracks, a kitchen, small office, and last on the list is a secure room, a lock room. Like a bank vault where collected taxes, important documents, and any other precious cargo can be stored. I'm putting 2 of these in the compound, one for anything with a government stamp on it, and one for paying customers, i.e. civilians. Here's a screenshot of a rough layout for a mancio based on archaeological finds in places like Kinedio in the UK. I'll be straightening out and lining up the walls to make things easier, so the end result will look more like this. The graph paper grid marks each square as 1 foot, but remember a standard square for a terrain map is 1 inch equating to 5 feet. So the overall dimensions for this will be 9 inches by 12 inches. Let's get set down here. The supplies for this one are 2 packs of super glue from the dollar store. Might not use all of them, but it's good to have extra. Totaling $2.50 plus tax, and 1 piece of foam core, 20 inch by 30 inch. This thickness of stuff, which was $4 plus tax. So we're looking at under $7.50 Canadian for the whole thing, and any sharp knife you happen to have, or a good pair of scissors. So, it's cheapest build I've done so far. You can spend more money, or more time, or both, and decorate it to look however you want. But you don't have to. As long as you as the DM and the players can see where everything is, like walls, doors, etc., then you're good. You're fine. I laid out the smallest rooms as 2 inch by 1 inch, and at 28 millimeter scale, that makes them 5 foot by 10 foot. That's big enough for an adventuring party to just sleep. Especially since most of the game I'm working on centers around small folk, you could scale it up easily enough to suit medium creatures. Or just say the rooms have a limited occupancy. It being a military posting, There's no beds. There's no furniture. If you're not military or government, there's no indoor bathrooms. Outhouses and latrines would be set up a good minute or two walk away from the main buildings. And there'd likely be a well to draw water from, or a clean water source like a stream nearby with storage barrels full of clean water for the kitchens and the animals. It being a Roman idea in the first place, there'd likely be a bathhouse within walking distance of it anyway. Here's where the fun part starts. The walls, we'll make them 2 inches high, so about 2 inches high. And we want to cut the longest ones first. Okay, so we need and have cut 4 at 12 inches by 2, 6 at 9 inches, 2 at 6 inches, 10 at 4 inches, 7 at 2 inches, and 6 at 1 inch by 2. You want to take a pen or a pencil next and mark everywhere 2 walls cross each other and everywhere there's a door. These are where you have to make cuts. Remember, you have to get all of the cutting done before you glue anything together. On the walls running front to back, where the walls cross, make a vertical slit the same thickness as the foam core from the center of the bottom, or from the center to the bottom of the wall. For all the walls running side to side, you make a slit from the center to the top of the wall. Make the same slits on the ends, on the outside corners too, or where one butts up against another, not just where they cross. All right, so got a few of them to show you here cut out. This is what I mean about the ones running side to side, have the slits on the top. The ones running front to back have the slits on the bottom. But that's how they slide together and interlock with each other. And once you start getting this much put together, like once you get them all cut, start sliding together, make sure everything fits, shift stuff back and forth and around to make sure it all goes in place properly. All the internal walls. Once you got that done, take your glue, just tube of crazy glue and put a dab on each one of these joints all the way around, just to, make sure it stays together. Put a dab on it. If you got an activator spray, which is great for, cyanoacrylate it's called, but crazy glue, super glue, whatever you call it, you give it a spritz of that and it hardens instantly. Otherwise, put this stuff on, give it 5 minutes to dry and harden. And then once you get that done, you can take and put the exterior walls on. That'll finish it up. But I'll do that, and then I'll show you the finished product. Once the glue's dry, you can start gluing the outside joints and corners together. Same thing, if you have activator spray for crazy glue or any brand of cyanoacrylate glue, use it. Otherwise, do the pieces one at a time, hold them in place, and give them time to dry before you do the next one. What you have at the end should look something like this. Okay, so the final piece, as you can see, when you start putting stuff together, you find out how accurate or inaccurate your cutting and measuring is. Mine is not very accurate. I haven't glued it yet. I'm likely not going to if I do, I'll redo it completely. Be a little more accurate on the cutting and measuring. Because, yeah, there's some gaps in there. I could squeeze them together and glue it, but it'd just twist and warp everything more than it already is. But it is playable, it is usable. You could do this as is, or you can finish it and run it. Yeah, you could finish it, decorate it up, put roofs on it, whatever else. But it has all the necessary rooms. I combined the barracks and the offices into one long chamber, which is military operations, I guess you could call it. I got the 2 safe rooms, there and there. Lots of small rooms and pens for animals. Well, small rooms could be used as rental rooms or for pens for animals. A lot on the outside wall, a lot on the inside wall. A few larger rooms as suites. I could put gates on it, or I could leave it as it is. But it's playable as it is. Just shows all of the space, the amount of room you have, and it serves a purpose. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty good for a day project. And as a backup for a package not showing up in time to film a regular video with it. So, back to the desk. All right, that should do it for me today. Let me know what you think. What kind of buildings, ruins, or structures would you build this way? Would you paint it or add decoration or add anything to the build for your campaigns? I'd love to hear about whatever you come up with. It might give me ideas for what to do next. And as always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. It'll help the channel grow, and maybe someday I can actually make money doing this sort of thing. Okay, I'll talk to you next time.